Welcome back to the 1% Mind. You are standing in the restroom, staring into the mirror, while the fluorescent lights overhead buzz with a faint electric hum. In 5 minutes, you will walk into a glass-walled conference room to present a strategy to a table of senior executives. Or perhaps you are sitting at your desk at 2 a.m., hesitant to click publish on a project you have been building in secret for months. You might even be looking at a promotion email, feeling your stomach drop into a bottomless pit of dread instead of the joy you expected. Externally, you look sharp, and the world sees a rising star. Internally, your nervous system is in crisis. Your stomach is twisting, your heart is hammering against your ribs, and your palms are sweating. A single thought loops through your mind. Today is the day they finally find out. You are convinced that once they look at your work, they will realize you have no idea what you are doing, that your past successes were blind luck and you manipulated your way into this room. This internal terror is the starting point of a silent, agonizing experience common among high-level professionals. In the boardroom, your peers appear perfectly calm. They take notes with purpose and speak with unshakable certainty. Your brain whispers that they have a secret manual for success, while you are just an actor who wandered onto a stage without knowing a single line. This feeling has nothing to do with incompetence or weakness. It is never a reason to quit. Standard self-help suggests one more degree, one more client, or $1 more million will make this feeling disappear. They promise you will eventually cross an invisible finish line where you finally feel ready. For high achievers, the reality is the opposite. As success and responsibility grow, the imposter feeling typically becomes more intense. This specific elite panic is driven by a mechanism known as the Dunning-Kruger inversion. In the standard Dunning-Kruger effect, incompetent people possess arrogant confidence because their shallow pool of knowledge leaves them blind to complexity. They don't know enough to realize what they don't know. But a 1% mind works differently. You do not just look at the surface, you obsessively deconstruct systems. Imagine your knowledge as a circle. The area inside is what you know. The perimeter is your awareness of ignorance. When you are a beginner, your circle is tiny. Your contact with the unknown is minimal, so you assume you understand everything. As you gain mastery, your circle of knowledge expands massively. As it grows, the perimeter grows with it. Your contact with the infinite unknown increases. You vividly realize the staggering number of variables you have yet to master. When you face a high-stakes project, your brain scans this massive perimeter and sees thousands of potential failure points. It notes the gap between your finite knowledge and the infinite complexity of the task, then labels you a fraud. This suggests that imposter syndrome is a byproduct of high intelligence. Only those with the intellectual capacity to grasp the limits of their understanding are capable of feeling it. If this affects all elites, why do your peers still look fearless? This is the result of the asymmetric information trap. This trap stems from a data imbalance, comparing your internal chaos to everyone else's external polish. You have front-row access to your own doubts, the 3 a.m. rewrites, anxiety, and looping insecurities. But you only see their curated, professional highlight reel. In reality, the executive across from you is likely worried about industry disruption, and the CEO may be losing sleep over projections that are essentially educated guesses. If you could actually plug in and hear their internal monologues, you would hear a deafening symphony of doubt and pressure. Many assume that those in authority possess a secret manual or a level of certainty that others missed out on. High performers eventually realize that everyone is simply navigating the unknown and trying to prevent the system from collapsing. When the pedestal shatters, you realize you are just a human in a room of other humans doing their best to manage uncertainty. Moving beyond the theory requires a systematic approach to handling the feeling. We begin with the evidence ledger. Human biology has a built-in negativity bias that acts like a hostile prosecutor. This prosecutor ignores 99 successes to obsess over one minor mistake. Fighting this with empty affirmations usually fails because fluctuating anxiety easily overpowers forced positivity. Instead, use historical data. The 1% trust their track record over their temporary feelings. Examine the facts. You didn't sleepwalk through a degree or receive a salary for years by mistake. You solved logistical crises through execution, not luck. When dread hits, separate your identity from the anxiety. Rely on the fact that you have a 100% survival rate of your worst days. Next, we have to address our definition of competence, which is often an outdated relic of the school system. We were taught that being smart meant being a human encyclopedia, memorizing answers and regurgitating them perfectly. This mindset traps people in middle management, where they exhaust themselves trying to project an illusion of perfect knowledge. In an era of high-level automation, memorization is a low-value skill. Modern elite performers view themselves as processing engines rather than storage units. When asked a complex question they don't know, they don't stutter. They explain that while they don't have that specific data yet, they know exactly how to architect the model to find it. Your value is your ability to walk into the dark, figure out the rules of a new game, and execute a solution under pressure. The final shift requires rewiring how you interpret the physical sensation of the panic itself. Instinct tells us that a racing heart is a warning to retreat to safety. Reframe that signal. Career growth is like lifting weights. The physical strain is the prerequisite for the result. Lifting a comfortable weight produces no pain, but it also yields no growth. If you feel perfectly at ease every day, you are likely stagnating in a role that is too small for your potential. High performers actively hunt for this feeling. They know the terror is a biological indicator that they are successfully leveling up. That anxiety represents the chaotic construction of an expanding identity. If this helped you reframe your own self-doubt, hit the like button. Subscribe to the 1% Mind and share this with a colleague who needs to hear it. In our next video, we're looking at deep work, how the modern attention economy fractures your brain, and the protocols the elite use to build indestructible focus. Stop waiting for permission to be great. The room is already yours. See you in the next masterclass.